from here in Tempe, Arizona, we say goodnight as we put the cap on the end of a terrific college football season. For Keith Jackson, Dan Fouts, Todd Harris, Lynn Swan, and Terry Bowden, I'm John Saunders. Once again, the final score, 31-24 in 2 overtime possessions. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Keyword, ABC Sports.
About what I expected. It's very painful. You play a lot of these plays again for a long time, but that's the way it should be.
Against Ohio State, but offensively they seem to stop you. Can you talk a little bit about the defense and the game plan that they showed against you?
Yeah, they did a lot of blitzing. They did a lot of movement with their line. It really didn't surprise us that much, but they're very good at what they do. And it certainly did cause us some problems. Obviously, when we lost Willis McGahee, that hurt. We were starting to run the ball a little bit more effectively in the second half some, and I think that definitely hurt us. But no, they have a great defensive football team. They don't allow many yards rushing. Scored, I think, off the 2 turnovers that we had, and again, we just didn't have enough offense to finish it off tonight.
And right here, on the right,
Coach Larritt, on the
Yes.
on the 4th down play, there was a pass interference call. The team jumped on the field thinking they had won. Did you have a chance to see the call? And what was your reaction to that?
I did not have a chance to see the call, so I really don't know what I would perceive being a good call or a bad call. I know the call was made, and that's what we have to deal with. We have to adjust going to the next play. But obviously, 4th down and long, that was a huge.
Wrap up.
Dorsey under pressure throws it. After nearly 4 hours of football in a second overtime period, Ken Dorsey back to pass. C. Grant on block. Matt Wilhelm deflects the last gasp of a hurricane. And Ohio State prevails 31-24. Congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes, the national champions of college football. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the championship wrap-up with Mike Martin and Dave Lapham. I'm Dennis Jansen, and thanks for joining us. You saw it here on Channel 9 and ABC. Ohio State beating Miami 31-24 in double overtime for the national championship. Taking a look at the highlights, Miami won the toss but elected to receive. However, Jim Tressel's offense did nothing with any of its early possessions, while the Canes were clicking. Ken Dorsey passed to Roscoe Parrish for the touchdown here. The Hurricanes are on the board first, 7-0 with the point after, but Ohio State was held without a first down until just 28 seconds remained in that first quarter. But their defense was on the job. Dustin Fox with the interception that kept the Canes from adding to their lead. Nothing came of that one, but this one did go on the board. Mike Doss snags the overthrow, and it's 1st and 10 deep in Canes territory. Krenzel gets it in when everyone was looking for a Claret. Tie game 7-7. Another second quarter turnover, another TD for Ohio State. Kenny Peterson's second sack caused a Dorsey fumble. And this time it's Maurice Claret taking it to the end zone. Miami's last 3 possessions of the first half ended in turnovers and 14 Buckeye points. They're up 14-7. Another big play for the Buckeyes to open the third quarter. Krenzel to Chris Gamble, their longest pass play of the year. But then things got really hairy. Krenzel is picked off in the end zone. But Maurice Claret, well, he takes it personally. Sets out to reclaim what had been theirs just moments before. He'll strip the ball back, and OSU would cash in with a field goal for a 17-7 lead. Willis McGahee cut that to a 3-point lead when he scored from 7 yards out as Miami mustered its first sustained drive of the game, but he left with an injury, down 17-14 on this OSU.
He comes out, and it looks like Miami's back in business.
Lowe Jr. took control, clicking for the touchdown, and a point after, they're up 24-17. OSU's last gasp of their possession came down to this play. A holding call gave the Buckeyes a 1st and goal. Krenzel scores. A second overtime period ensues. Maurice Clarett would score from 5 yards out with their possession. The point after, and it was 31-24. Ohio State back on top and in control. But the Hurricanes came right back. A penalty on Ohio State gave them 1st and goal, but on 4th and a yard, Ken Dorsey back to pass, pressured. The throw flutters to the turf of Sun Devil Stadium, and Ohio State is the national champions 31-24 in double overtime. Let's head to Columbus now to check in with Paula Ferris, who's live at the Buckeye Hall of Fame. Paula?
Hey there, DJ. Well, in typical Buckeye fashion, they take this one down to the wire, double overtime. In fact, nobody thought that the underdog Buckeyes could pull it off this year. Nobody, that is, except for the Buckeye faithful. I've got Nick and Diane here. Nick.
Over Will Allen.
I'll tell you what, the last time we won it was 8 years old. I've never felt anything like this in my life. I'm 42, and I was like, we waited for this for a long time.
Can you believe this?
I can't believe it, but you know what? It's the fans had great support. I mean, that's a good thing. Trestle's he's a godsend. You know, Trestle's a good coach. Nothing against Cooper. It's just been a great season.
Diane, tell me what it feels like right now.
It's unbelievable. I'm so excited right now. It was a nail biter down to the end. I'm so excited. I don't even have words. We had a great crowd here. Just awesome energy.
Obviously, it's unbelievable if you're a Buckeye fan right now.
Ohio State and Dorsey.
Men were picking up pom-poms and putting on their cheerleading face. A crazy scene. People were even crying.
Be up at halftime. It's an amazing feeling. I am so pumped, and I am out of breath.
This game brought out the bravery in this young man. He had the courage, or should I say craze, to show up in Buckeye country wearing none other than a Hurricane hat.
I don't like Ohio State. I'm a Michigan fan. I'm from Detroit. I like Michigan. So from that point, we won our bowl, the Sugar Bowl. I'm here supporting Miami. So
Let's see your hat.
Right there.
The Miami fan, I've been dealing with him all night. I told him before kickoff I was like, I don't mean to. I was like, I hope you have some tissues. I hope you have some tissues because.
Glenn Sharp out there getting a little physical with him, but that's our mentality.
One thing is for sure, the Buckeyes are the 2002 national champs. DJ, back to you.
Thank you very much, Paula. Let's bring our analysts in and revisit their keys to the game. Dave Lapham and Mike Martin. Mike, you said...
I think we had 3 interceptions and 1 fumble in the first half. So they didn't beat us. We beat ourselves.
Any other questions? Right here on the left.
Matt, was there ever a time before the last play of the game where you guys thought you weren't going to win?
Nah, we've always believed. We believed all year long when we had close games. You know, we believed it wouldn't be where we were at. Turns out, they won the game. You win some, you lose some. They played a real tough game. My hat's off to Ohio State, and I think we played with a lot of heart too. It's probably the best football game I've ever seen and never been a part of.
Any other questions?
Matt, throughout the 34-game winning streak, obviously you had get a lot of breaks to go your way. Did it feel like today it just seemed like they weren't going your way at all?
It did feel like that a little bit, but you gotta be able to overcome those kind of things. And today we couldn't do it. We did to a point, but we didn't finish it off. And that's the way football is. It's a funny shaped ball. It bounces different ways sometimes. You just gotta expect that going into these type of games, going against a defense like they have.
Right here in the front.
This is for Cullen. Was their defense quicker than you anticipated, and how would you rate it to the other defenses that you played this year?
They had some athletes. They had number 6, Doss, and Gamble. You know, they're just a real disciplined team. You know, hats off to them. They couldn't match up with our talent, but talent only takes you so far. And, you know, I guess that's what we learned today.
Far right.
For either one or both, what did the loss of Willis do to you guys emotionally, and can you update his condition right now?
For me?
I don't know. What
I think he just tore some ligaments in his knee. That's all I pretty much know. I knew it was his knee, and I heard he was hurt pretty badly. So it's a big loss.
Any other questions right here on the left?
We were told beforehand that possibly Ken was going to come out. Is Ken to the point where he is too hurt as well? Do you guys have any update on Mr. Dorsey?
we don't even know what happened yet, you know. We were in the locker room for a minute and we're back here. Obviously, I think he's fine. He came back and played, so he must have just got a little stinger or something.
Any other questions? Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, Miami, the team most known recently for winning national championships, but it is Ohio State who really is worth note. Since the beginning of the AP poll in 1936, only Notre Dame has won more national championships in football than Ohio State, 7. This was OSU's first national title of any kind since the National Football Foundation picked them as #1 after the 1970 season. After the game, Jeremy Schaap caught up with Ohio State's Maurice Clarett.
Maurice, how did you guys pull off this upset?
I don't know. Keep going. It wasn't an upset, you know what I mean? You get your work's deserved. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't believe it right now. It ain't sunk in right now, but it's crazy right now. It's crazy.
To what extent were you motivated this week by the controversy surrounding you?
I mean, I just took it as a regular game, you know what I'm saying? We came out here to play football and did what I had to do to help the team win. I got off to a slow start because I was trying to make too many things happen, but, I mean, the game went on and we made the plays when we needed to make them.
Maurice, what were your thoughts when your season came down to that one final play at this end of the field?
I don't know, it's just getting the end zone, you know what I mean? Just getting the end zone, it's determination. All the hard work paid off, and you know what I mean? It's like, it's that time, we #1 right now. We proved to everybody in the world that somebody can be bigger than you, faster than you, stronger than you, but it's all about what you got in your heart, you know what I mean? It's all about what you got in your heart.
What was the most important play of this game from your perspective?
I don't know, I think Craig, just every play that Craig made, he was a great player all game.
Your thoughts about coming back next year?
Huh?
Are you coming back next year?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Maurice. Congratulations.
And taking their party in the streets, Steve.
Minutes ago, this
key to this upset.
I mean, you know, Miami came in, played very hard. You know, we jumped out on them, 17-7. You know, they stayed in with us, and they, you know, caused the overtime. And, you know, I don't like to play overtimes because it was, you know, against Miami, they're a good team, and we kept scoring back-to-back. So, I mean, I'm so happy right now that we won.
Did you ever have any doubts with so many close calls?
I mean, I was out there, I was a little nervous because I was thinking Andre Johnson, he's a good receiver, but, you know, luckily I did my best on him, and, you know, we came up with the win, so.
Do you think people didn't fully comprehend just how fast and powerful this Ohio State defense was?
I mean, I told everybody that, you know, we was going to hang with Miami Hurricanes because we balanced them in speed and, you know, physicalness, and we showed the world today that we can hang with Miami Hurricanes.
What does Jim Tressel mean to this team? How does his composure, his stoicism, bleed over onto the sidelines and into the players?
I mean, he's a leader. You know, I just watched him, you know, during overtime, and he was calm, and he was telling us to keep your head up. And, you know, I mean, as I was looking at it, I was like, I'm going to just go out there and just play for the team and, you know, try to come up with a big play. But, you know, Coach Tressel, he's a good coach, and he just told us to stay, keep our heads up, and, you know, luckily we did, and we came out with a win.
What does it feel like to have a national championship now?
It feels real good. My second year in college, I mean, it feels real good, but, you know, I mean, I'm so glad it's over with now, you know, because we was up here for a week and a half practicing all day, so I'm just glad it's over with right now.
Chris, congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, he is just a freshman, but he's already got a national title. Maurice Clarett and the Buckeyes winning the Fiesta Bowl. We've got more live coverage from the press conferences celebrating his victory.
Well, you know, you guys are a little slower than the 1AA guys. They asked me that before we got off the field. but you know, they hustle a little bit more or something. But I know this. These guys are going to enjoy this. They're going to celebrate with class. They're going to be very proud of their accomplishments. They're going to take a deep breath after playing 14 tough football games. And the younger guys are going to be back in school on Monday. And, you know, I don't think we'll scurry them to the weight room on Tuesday or Wednesday. But life is about what comes up next. And, you know, we'll go to work fairly soon.
Back
Coach,
center.
Can you just talk about the 2 fourth-down plays in the first overtime and how key those were and the plays you had called there?
Well, if we didn't make them, we wouldn't be here. It's pretty key. You know, Craig Krenzel stepped up. Michael Jenkins ran a great route. We had him on a comeback route. And he came back to the sticks and got the first. And then on the next one, you know, I think we had an interference call. You know, I think on the next one, Chris Gamble was open and got interfered with. Craig called that play. Craig, we had a timeout or something, and Craig said, hey, here's what I'm going to do. And Chris said, okay, I'll be there. And he was there, and the ball was there, and he got interfered with. And then I think it was Maurice Clarett that scored the last one, I think. And, you know, that's how you win championships. You make plays. You keep playing and you make plays. And our guys keep playing, and we were fortunate we made plays, and so did Miami. I mean, they kept playing. They have nothing to hang their heads about. They're a great football team.
Far right.
Coach, could you talk about the play of Krenzel, not only throwing but running, and really on a night when he outplayed a Heisman finalist?
Well, you know, I don't know about, you know, that. All I know is that Craig Krenzel did for us what we needed done, and that was he led the team. He fought like crazy. He made plays, most especially when they had to be made, and he's tough. You know, probably the number one characteristic that a quarterback better have, especially a quarterback at Ohio State, is he better be tough. Craig Krenzel is tough. He played a tough game tonight, and but I think that guy number 11 over there played pretty well too.
Right here in the front.
This is for Michael. All week long, you guys heard about Miami's speed and Miami's talent offensively, but you guys never said a word. How much did that eat at you guys? How much do you use that as you know, a motivational type of thing?
Well, you know, we felt that, you know, we had a regular track meet that we could match up with those guys pretty good and only track in the country. But out there on the field, you know, it's game speed and it's football speed. And we felt that we could play with anybody in the country, and we just, you know, kept our mouths closed and just decided to go out there and play it out on the field. That's where it all counts.
Right here in the center.
Coach, at the beginning of the year, well, first of all, 14-0 is unprecedented in 1A. I'd like you to comment on that. But at the beginning of the year, you mentioned that a long season was kind of what you liked. Do you still feel that way?
Well, we felt we needed a long season because we were young in a lot of areas. We knew our 2 deep was going to be full of a lot of young people. We had some great seniors, you know, and some redshirt juniors coming along that were going to be, you know, great contributors. But there were going to be a lot of young players that were going to have to step up if we were going to be a good team. So a long season was going to be to our benefit if we stayed healthy and if we used it right and if we kept trying to get better. And the other thing is I think if you have good toughness and you have good staying power like these kids have, a long heavyweight bout is what they're suited for.
Right here in the center.
Coach, outside of points off the turnover early in the game, how much of a difference did your crowd make tonight? I mean, how impressive was that?
You know, our crowd was incredible. We thought we were in a home game. I mean, it felt like a home game. The crowd was loud when we needed it loud and not quite as loud when we needed it softer. You know, and I think we came out a little bit, you know, hyped up, and we were excited to play, and we had a couple penalties and that type of thing. And I think once we got our feet on the ground and felt that electricity of that crowd, you know, just our guys slugged away like crazy.
Far right.
Coach, over here, are you going to get the cornrows now?
Yeah. Yep, I got to get my hair a little longer, they say. So I'm going to have to, you know, I'm going to have to grow it out for a couple days, and then we'll have to get some cornrows.
Right here in the front.
Great cornrows.
Right here in the front.
This one's for Mike. Michael, down here. Hi. You said you were coming back this year to match your high school championship with a national championship. Mission accomplished. How does it feel?
Man, let's give credit to teammates and all the glory to God. You know, I've won championships on every level I played on since I was 8 years old. And to do it here in college, you know, definitely a great honor and a great blessing. And I just want to give all the credit to my teammates and coaches.
Right here in the back.
Coach, you talked in one of the earlier press conferences this week about not showing much emotion, and we've rarely seen that side of you. Have you let it go a little bit? Did you let it go in the locker room? Guys, you can back him up on whatever he says here.
Well, you know, the game was decided so late. I didn't have time to, you know, really get ready to emote. But, you know, just what we did in the locker room, what we did in the field was trying to find all the people that were special in our lives and all the people that we appreciated their role in this particular day. This day's a culmination of a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice. Our coaches are tireless workers. They leave no stone unturned. Our players sacrifice tremendously. And what we did from an emotion standpoint is we just found each other and hugged each other and reminded each other how much we love one another.
Right here in the center.
Down the front row, you guys really topped yourself tonight. The 2 fourth-down passes, Craig, in overtime. Can you talk about those? I mean, those were just clutch.
You know, the first one, it was 4th and long, and you know, they've been playing us some cover 2-man, especially to Mike Jenkins' side, trying to give the corners help over the top because they knew about his big playability and his ability to go up and catch the ball. And we just called a little comeback route. Our offensive line did a great job of you know, protecting me, giving me time to step up, giving Mike time to get into his route. Mike ran a great route. The ball was thrown on time. You know, he caught it, and the rest is history. You know, after I threw that, I got hit. And as I was getting hit, the ball was in the air. I saw a lot of contact, you know, going on in the corner. But after that, I was laying on the ground. You know, the ball fell incomplete. And, you know, their team rushed the field. And I just kind of sat there. And, you know, to be honest, it was just a feeling of dejection. Thinking the game was over, knowing how hard you know, how hard we played and how much effort we put in. And just at that time thinking we weren't victorious. You know, I thought there was contact, but I didn't see the flag till after I got up, and you know, I think it was the right call, and unfortunately we capitalized on it.
Fought back right.
Coach, there were a lot of people who said Ohio State didn't even have a shot at winning this game before it was even played. What did you have to do to keep that from affecting your players' attitude going into the game?
Well, our guys know what they're capable of. They know when they are together what they can accomplish, and our guys had every confidence going into this football game. If we would do the things that we know how to do, that we would compete. We knew they're a great football team, and we had not played them before, so you didn't know for sure exactly what the matchup would be, but I'd say it was a pretty even matchup, and you know, 2 great heavyweights slugging it out, and you know, we came up with the win, and I think our guys had every confidence that we had that ability.
Right here on the right.
Coach, you had talked about 6 weeks ago breaking down films and trying to winnow down 150 plays, things that you thought would work. When did you really start to know that you matched up really well with these guys?
Well, you know, I think the more you get to know a team, you know, you feel as if you can put things together to match up with them, and I thought our defensive staff did a good job. I thought we had a good plan offensively, a good plan special teams-wise. We didn't do all of it perfectly. We wanted to kick those punts out of bounds, and we did pretty well except for that one, and that almost cost us the football game. But, you know, I think we had a good plan, and our guys were focused on studying that film, and I think it had a lot of good design to it across the board, but it was still going to be a matter of could you come out and do it on Friday night.
Back right.
Donnie, we'll give you this one. You guys played in a lot of close games down the stretch. Did that experience help you at all tonight, being in another tight ball game?
I think so, a little bit. I think we've been there, so we didn't panic or anything, but I think that we've done that all season. I mean, we never panic, never give up, no surrender, all season.
Right here.
Coach, on the 4th down play in the first overtime with the late flag, did you think the game was over?
Well, I thought that that there was interference. I did not see a flag, so for a moment I thought, boy, isn't that a shame? You know, because I really think the ball was thrown well. As I mentioned earlier, Craig came up with the thought on the play for Chris to do that little route that he did. I thought Craig put it on the money, and I thought he got interfered with, but I didn't see a flag. And you know, we don't complain about things that, you know, if they don't go our way, but it was good to see that guy come up from the back of the end zone and make what I thought was a good call.
Right here in the center.
Coach, Maurice Clarett had 2 touchdowns by my count and stripped and recovered a fumble. With everything he's been through in the last few weeks, what did he say to you? What's going through his mind right now?
You know, Maurice Clarett is a tremendous competitor, and you know, he cares a lot about his teammates, and he gives tremendous effort. And you know, as evidenced by that great strip on the interception and so forth, and the great effort to get into the end zone, I think he's probably relieved, you know, to be walking out the door as the national champions. And you know, I'm sure he's probably happy he's not sitting up here with us right now. He's probably enjoying hugging people in the locker room.
Right here on the right.
Could each of you talk about just how you might celebrate this win?
Who would you like the question for?
Donnie, Nikki?
Each one of them.
Donnie?
Start with Donnie, work his way down.
I'm going to celebrate?
Yeah.
I'm going to go find my family as soon as I can and just get lost in the moment for a while.
Same here. My family's down here, and I just want to find them and enjoy this win, especially, and then also with my teammates. You know, we worked hard for this, and, you know, I just want to give a credit, like I said, credit to all those guys, and to be a senior and to finish on this note, you know, it's definitely great.
Yeah, the same answer as these 2 guys right here. My family, you know, they're the greatest people in the world, so I just want to be with them and be with my teammates. You know, just relax a little bit, enjoy the moment, and you know, tomorrow afternoon I'm going to enjoy the beautiful weather and you know, go get a round of golfing before I go home.
Go here in the center.
This question's for Michael and Donnie. Offensive or defensively, you guys had 3 quick takeaways on Miami, and it led to 17 points. Can you guys talk about, once again, the defensive play and how that kind of set the tone through the first half and got you in position to win this thing in overtime?
Well, you know, Coach D'Antonio harped all week about, you know, having +2 turnovers, and, you know, guys just, you know, went out there on the field and were determined to make plays. You know, Dustin Fox came with the first big one. I got a blessing with a tip pass, and, you know, we just continued to go out there and make plays. Our D-line, I think, played excellent today. And, you know, they put some pressure on Dorsey and he threw the ball up.
Front right.
Question for Michael and one for Coach. Michael, you wanted to play Miami because you started your career against Miami, and you said we'll see how the final chapter is written. Can you just talk about that and you know, what that final chapter will say for you? And Coach, 2 years, did you have a timetable, or are you ahead of schedule more so than what you thought you would be by winning the championship in 2 years?
Actually, in my career, you know, all the teams I've played, you know, I either split 500 or, you know, I won. And to lose to Miami, that gave me motivation, you know, to win this game. And I had a little luck with that. And then the numbers game, 13, 13, 13 everywhere. And we just had to be one more game. And to finish against Miami, you know, the greatest that had a 34-game win streak. And for us to snap that and become national champions, it feels great.
Coach? What was the question, Kenny? Oh, yeah, the timetable. One of those timetable questions. Okay, I forgot. You know, we had hoped to win it in 2001, but we didn't do the things we needed to do to be the champions, and we set out to learn from those things, and our guys started really in late January and February formulating the plans and the goals and what needed to be done, and the amount of work they've put in between late January of '02 and January 3rd of '03 is incredible, and they deserve everything that they get.
2 more questions, front right.
For Donnie and Mike, and the final defensive stand with Miami inside the 5-yard line, what was going on in the field? What was being said in the huddle? Or was it just business as usual out there?
What was being said? Yeah. I don't know, man.
You can edit it.
It was just, I think everybody, I mean, we've been in that situation before. We knew it was all on the line. Whatever was said, I think, was basically based on football. But, I mean, we all believed in each other. We knew that we had the heart to take this thing home, and we did it.
I think myself, I just said somebody has to make a play. You know, let everyone step up. You know, it's 4th and 1. You know, this is the last play in the world, as Coach Tressel always has in practice. At least once a week, we just have one play where it's the last play in the world, and it means everything. And it came down to it, and we stepped up to the challenge.
Last question right here in the center.
For Michael and Craig, I can see, even as this press conference goes on, right in front of you, Craig.
Right in front.
Right here. Here you go. Even as this thing moves along, I can see that the whole thing is sinking in. Talk about the magnitude of what you guys have just done. If it's all hitting you bit by bit, or, I mean, even your reaction there, Mike, tells me that it's still sinking in quite a bit.
Man, it's still unbelievable. You know, to hear those fireworks go off and rush the field. And it's like we won the game, but it was the game on the national stage, 2 overtimes. And as Craig said, we just sitting here looking at each other like we won the national championship. You know, like we're little kids in the candy store. You know, it's Christmas for us. You know, and I just want to give all the glory to God once again.
No more.
You know, really, this is, just so you all know, this is the guy that led us to our last national championship. Number 10, Rex Kern.
You guys will still be feeling what the magnitude of that is, and we're proud of our football team and our coach and what you've accomplished. And timetables, coach, they always want to tie you down. I'd give a comment of what Woody would say, but I won't. So
something that we could take care of by letting Craig run there. He's a smart runner. He keeps his shoulder square. He finds good yards, and it was part of our plan, and he executed it along with the guys up front well.
So many big moments for your team on 4th down all season long. In this game tonight, monster 4th down plays. In overtime, you had the 4th and 14. Talk about the catch by Jenkins here.
Well, you know, this was a heck of a route. Craig stepped up there, and Michael did a great job with the comeback route, and then here's the interference call.
You like the call?
Well, you know, yeah, we do.
Of course.
I tell you what, it was Craig's idea to throw this route, and he said, I'm going to throw it right in there, and you know, we're going to get that touchdown, and he put it on the money and got interfered with.
Coach, after 14 games and so many close calls, when you look back in the offseason about this team, what made them so special, so many people questioning their talent, what will you remember about this group 10 or 20 years from now?
You know, that they were so willing to grow together and learn to care about one another. And, you know, this is a group that's been through transition, and they've been through some tough times. And, you know, they were just so willing to grow together and develop great relationships.
Pretty fitting. This team had the defense on the field at the end of the game, Lee.
I said I thought that Miami had the best players and you had the best football team. How did you get these guys to play such a fine football game as a team?
Well, you know, they care about each other. You know, they know that each one of them has a role, not one more important than the other, and they know the role that our fans have. They know the role that our band has. They know the role that our university has, and they know the role that the scout team has. Our scout team worked hard. We tried to give our defense as much speed running into our guys as we could, and they ran as fast as their little 4.7 legs could take them, you know, and they just did a great job, and just everyone did all they could do.
Hey, I hate to look ahead, but Kirk is pointing out you got almost the entire offensive team coming back. You lose Dawson, Wilhelm, and some key guys, but you got something started here with this much talent coming back.
Well, you know, Kirk stops around the office because he lives right there in Columbus and puts the pressure on us and makes sure we're working hard, so we get in early so he doesn't beat us to the office.
You're the team with the streak now, so you got 14-game winning streak taking into next season. Jim, congratulations.
Thanks, Chris.
Well done.
Lee, thank you.
First Buckeye title in 34 years. Miami's streak is snapped at 34. There's going to be one heck of a party here in Tempe. Another one back in Columbus. We're back.
Thank you, Chris. When we come back, we are going right back out to Tempe. First time the Buckeyes are national champs since 1968.
We should change before we pick up the girls. Okay.
Chevy Avalanche. It changes from a pickup to an SUV.
What are you doing?
Avalanche, like a rock.
We Were Soldiers on video and DVD from the makers of Braveheart. It's the first Oscar-worthy film of 2002.
You tell the American people what these men did here.
Mel Gibson, We Were Soldiers. Buy it today.
Just tasted new Sam Adams Light, the first great tasting light beer. Shockingly great taste.
Our post-Tocitos Fiesta Bowl coverage continues from Tempe. There's Brutus, there's the Buckeyes, there's the Circuit City, the Fiesta Bowl trophy. National champions for 2002 with a perfect 14-0 record, thanks in large part to this guy right here, quarterback Craig Krenzel. Not the prettiest quarterback in the world, I got to say that. Everybody knows that, but boy, for clutch play and toughness and whatever the team asks you, you're the leading rusher today. You're more of a ball carrier than a passer.
Yeah, we came into the game with some design quarterback runs, with the know-how that Miami, is vulnerable to step-ups at certain times, and I just tried to go out and do whatever it takes to win.
Miami's defense, known for their speed. Did it get old? Did you guys get tired of hearing about it all year long, or all week and all month long, about you guys don't have the speed to match up with Miami? Did you guys have a point to prove tonight?
It never really bothered us much. We knew coming to this game that we were confident in our abilities. We knew Miami was an excellent football team. Obviously, they're probably one of the fastest teams in the country. But at the same time, we felt that we could go out and we had speed at all the right positions, and that obviously different type of game plan, different style of football. But we felt we matched up well with them, and we set some history tonight.
Decision-making for a Jim Tressel quarterback seems to be one of the most important things throughout this game. Very few quarterbacks can go throughout a game flawlessly. What was the key for you coming out and making good decisions against a defense that is dominating a lot of teams?
Well, there were a couple plays where I didn't make great decisions, or I didn't make my decision quick enough. The interception in the end zone. Our tight end, Ben Hartsock, was open, and I just didn't get him the ball quick enough. Their safety made a great play, kind of baited me a little bit. Other times I just try to, if we have a certain play called, I try to go through my progressions. If it's not there, throw it away or just tuck the ball and get what I can get.
Interesting night for your backfield mate, Maurice Clarett. We call you guys the yin and the yang, the fire and ice, different personalities. Kind of held in check as a runner, gets a couple touchdowns, but then has the stolen ball play and bails you out. By far your worst play of the night, the pick up in the end zone by Taylor.
That was an outstanding play. I was actually hustling to try to make a tackle. I'm sure y'all had it on the replay. I got blasted.
Oh, did you?
Didn't even see what Maurice did, but all I know is the bottom line is we had the ball back. And that was a great effort for him to go get the ball and have us salvage 3 points.
How do you maintain this in overtime, play after play? You got to be battling mental and physical fatigue. I mean, it was like 25 plays in overtime alone.
In a game like this, you don't really think about that. With everything on the line in a game that emotional and that close, it's none of that ever crosses your mind. We remain focused on what we need to do to go out and prove everybody wrong and prove that that we deserve to be national champs.
Speaking about proving everybody wrong.
Yeah, he had the beak on before the game. They told me he had the beak on, so let's see you put that national championship hat on.
Tough quarterback.
This guy right here, he's a believer.
No, he can't be a believer after the game. He can't be.
We just got to come out and do it all again next year.
Hey, you guys are the ones with the streak now, and you're back, and so is everybody else, Craig. So we wish you the best of luck. Have a great offseason.
Thank you. Thank you.
Craig Krenzel, quarterback of the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes, the 30
of this team. I mean, he went out there and made the big plays when we needed it. I mean, sometimes the defense was down. They scored on us first in overtime, and the offense stepped up, and it was a total team effort. And, Craig, man, led the team.
A crazy week off the field with Maurice's controversy, all that stuff. Did that have any effect on a few of you guys or at all?
Not at all. For Maurice, that was the motivation for him to come out here and win this game for his friend. And as far as our team, we knew that this is a national championship and nothing was going to distract us. We just wanted to go out there and play it on the field.
Mike, well done. Great career. We enjoyed watching your career.
Thank you. Let's get Michael Jenkins on here.
Michael Jenkins.
I think the player of the year was a 4 for 1 for Duke.
Fourth player of the year. A lot of plays in the year, Mike.
Wow.
That wraps it up for now from Tempe, Arizona. See if we can get some more Buckeyes on the stage.
Congratulations.
All right, thanks, guys. Ohio State is the unanimous national champion, getting all 61.
Good call, bad call. This call kept the Buckeyes in business Friday night, but so did a lot of other things. This catch by Mike Jenkins in overtime on a 4th and 14 led the Bucs to the game-tying overtime touchdown. Tell me about that play.
I sensed they were in man on Mike. They had help over the top, so we couldn't beat them deep. With the play we called, it was just a little 15-yard comeback to Mike.
It was a long game, just kept my head in it, kept making plays. This pick by safety Michael Doss led to a Buckeye score. This sack by Kenny Peterson forced a fumble. It proved an old adage true. Offense gets you on TV highlights. Defense wins championships.
You said it. That's exactly right. Defense wins championships. And I tell you what, this defense right here, It's the best defense I ever played with.
Defense, like the final play at the end of a perfect season. 4th and goal, Miami, ball game.
I came down to double Winslow. That's been his go-to guy all day. He threw it to him. I got a hand on it. I mean, the game over.
4th and 1 down there. Was there any doubt you guys were going to stop?
Nope.
Not a doubt in my mind.
Ohio State shocked the football world. The second biggest underdog of the postseason is now the national champ.
And everybody that picked us to lose, sorry. That's why you play the game. That's why you play the game. No one gave us a chance. We shocked the world. We told you it was going to do it. 2 teams ended undefeated. There's 1 left. That dynasty's over.
Craig Krenzel, the offensive MVP. Michael Doss, the defensive MVP. And how sweet must that be? Doss comes back for 1 more year. Earns All-America again. And now is a national champion. Mike, this is all worth it, isn't it? Coming back, winning the championship.
Exactly. You know, you dream about this, and this is what it's all about, to be a senior.
And that's what Friday night was like in the desert. At the Fiesta Bowl, Ken Brew, Channel 5, Eyewitness Sports.
Ken will have more on last night's big win from Tempe tonight on Eyewitness News 5 at 6 o'clock. In Columbus, fans took to the streets to celebrate. Thousands of Ohio State students stormed the streets, yelling and screaming. Police stood guard, protected by riot gear. They didn't want to see a repeat of the OSU-Michigan game, where students celebrated by rioting. In that case, more than 100 fires were set and buildings vandalized. This time, police were forced to shut down some of the streets because of unruly crowds who set a few small fires. But thanks to the added police presence, there were only about 20 arrests made. Most of those are alcohol-related offenses. From the moment the game ended after midnight last night, crews working for Coca-Cola spent the night making these limited edition Coke cans. They commemorate Ohio State's clinching the national championship. Officials say they're only available for a limited time and only in the Midwest region. But even if you're not a Coca-Cola fan, there are other ways already in production that you can sport that scarlet and gray. This is what the official Ohio State National Championship T-shirt looks like. We called several sporting goods stores in the area. Most tell us that the
30 extra plays in 2 overtimes, and certainly the best national championship game in 20 years in the sport. And a team that was way down at number 6 2 months ago wins the title league.
You know, Chris, it's very important to go into this situation and look at it this way. The best group of athletes did not win this football game. The best team won it. The Buckeyes made play after play after play, not with as much skill, but as much determination as any team I've seen in a long time. Says it all, partner.
Yeah, that's right. You know what, Coach? I think if you're looking top to bottom, Lee's probably right. Miami did have the better group of athletes, but as I think most people expected, that know Ohio State well, the Ohio State defense, not only their athletic ability, how physical they attacked Miami's offense, negating Miami's strength, which is their balance. Ohio State, I think, showed America that it's not just a big physical football team that's determined. They're very athletic.
And very clutch, as always. Craig Krenzel stepped up. You're talking about an offense that in the last 6 games only reached the 20-point plateau in regulation time 1 time. But Krenzel, the molecular genetics major, the junior quarterback from Michigan, of all places, once again stepped up and was clutch. Here's Shelley Smith.
Whenever his team needed him most, through the air with precision passes or in the huddle with calming words, Ohio State quarterback Craig Krenzel came through.
Krenzel was unbelievable. He's just like he always is. He's our general out there. You can't say enough good things about him. Maintaining composure for this team. You know, we've been in tough situations all year, no matter what.
What was Craig Krenzel like in the huddle down the stretch?
It's the same old guy, calm. You know what I'm saying? Take charge, knew we could get the job done, and he proved that.
But nobody really expected that Krenzel would come through on the ground, nearly doubling the rushing yards gained by his talented teammate, Maurice Clarett. Who knew you could run?
I did. You know, it's nothing graceful, but it gets the job done. He's been trying to talk about his speed all year, but I still think I can take him in a 40.
He is one example of what our team has been like. I mean, everyone says we win really ugly and just say we're not that great of a team, and that people have been saying Craig's not that great of a quarterback. But one thing I noticed was he never made big mistakes or just unbelievable, like huge plays all the time. And if you're someone in between that range, I mean, you're going to be successful.
Craig Krenzel's a leader, and he gets the job done. It's not pretty all the time, but he gets the job done. He knows how to win, and that's what's so very, very special about him.
I think he earned the MVP tonight. You know, he did a lot of things with his legs.
people kind of underestimated him, you know, but he proved a lot of people wrong tonight.
He led the team. He fought like crazy. He made plays, most especially when they had to be made, and he's tough. You know, probably the number one characteristic that a quarterback better have, especially a quarterback at Ohio State, is he better be tough. Craig Krenzel is tough. He played a tough game tonight.
Sure did. The biggest play. He'll be remembered forever for that 4th and 14 completion in the first overtime for 17 yards to Jenkins. I want to go back to this field. The 87 Fiesta Bowl, Penn State knocking off Miami with John Schaefer. Very workmanlike, tough quarterback. He wasn't the passer that Krenzel was, but he just managed the game, didn't make mistakes. And Krenzel, I don't know what else you could say about him. He's done this all year long. It wouldn't even be anywhere near this title game if he hadn't made clutch plays like that all season long.
Yeah, and I think they came up with a new scheme in this game to try to utilize his athletic ability in running the football. It's not the prettiest, but he does pick up valuable yardage. One thing that Schaefer and Krenzel had in common is great defense. Ohio State's defense won the national championship for this team, not only today, but throughout the whole season. Taking away Willis McGahee and the Miami Hurricanes' strength, their running game, forcing Miami to go to their passing game in obvious passing situations, allowed them to put the kind of pressure that Dorsey has not seen all year long. And that consistent play from the defense, again, won the Buckeyes this title.
You said before they would do some things that would confuse Dorsey. It would take him a half to figure it out. But also Miami's vaunted balance on offense was taken away. Willis McGahee caged in for most of the game. He did begin to get loose, but then was injured. And it's a very serious injury to his left knee, which was a sad scene. Watch Allen hit him on the knee and the leg bending backwards. They're calling it right now just a torn left ACL, but it appears to be very, very serious. Obviously, it's going to require surgery, and to see the man who was 4th in the Heisman Trophy voting and such a warrior in tears and carted off from the sideline, very tough. Then Ken Dorsey, boom, takes the hit from Wilhelm in overtime. He's knocked woozy. He has to go to the sidelines for a play, regains his senses. A timeout helps him there. He comes back out with a final play of his college career, the incompletion in the end zone. But Miami's 2 Heisman finalists, 2 great warriors, knocked for a loop there.
Well, and yeah, I think that, again, it goes back to the defense and the way Ohio State played, how physical they can be. But Miami deserves a lot of credit for not backing down, showing the heart of a champion, coming back from down 17-7, dealing with some adversity with the injury to McGahee.